Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we bring to you another confession from an ex-occult member who actually was practicing as a pastor with these dark powers from the occult kingdom. He is a man who is full of regret, and is really going through a lot inside. He said that he wanted to share his life story for others to learn from him. That is why we are sharing this with you today. So without taking much of your time, let us go and listen to this confession by our brother. But don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time, like and share this video so others can listen to it as well. And also hit the notification bell, so you will be notified anytime we upload videos like this.
What I am going to talk to you about, I will try to paint the exact picture of how things went when I traveled to these spiritual masters for power to perform all the healings and miracles that people came to know me with. This is not something I am taking lightly talking to you about it. It means everything to me. Because it is as a result of it that I got to where I have gotten to. But then it has taken a lot from me, both physically and spiritually. You see, for years, I lived a double life, cloaked in the guise of a devoted pastor while secretly entwined in the shadows of the occult. I have seen so many things with my own eyes as a grown man. I have come to know pastors that did fake their miracles and prophecies. I didn't want to get to a point where someone out there would get to know that I am not truthful in what I was doing. So, I took a firm decision not to embark on such things as arranging with people to act as sick people where I will heal them. Before I even go ahead with what I want to talk about, people should get it straight in their head that it is not the number of members one has that shows that indeed God is with him or her. Because of this perception that people do have about church and pastors, that is why when they go for dark powers, they make sure whatever they will be doing, they will pull a lot of crowds. Because in the people's eyes, pastors with a lot members are often regarded as one doing right. But all of such things are not true in any way. And a lot of the pastors that are doing the fake miracles are the ones that go from one place to the other to organize crusades. Because when they bring the people to be amongst you, you cannot see the people they have healed and ask them any questions. And moreover, they do bring the people from different places to the venue to also pretend that they are also coming for the crusade to see if the pastor will be able to heal them. That is how lots of these pastors and prophets go about pretending to be from the God of the Bible. But deep down, they know they are just acting and deceiving lots of people. Now, my journey into this dark world began innocently enough, driven by a desire for miracles and a deeper connection to the divine. However, what I discovered was far from the light I sought. It was a descent into a realm where faith was corrupted, and souls were battered for power. The initiation process for pastors in the occult is both insidious and methodical, designed to ensnare individuals who are already seeking spiritual authority. It begins with an invitation, often presented as a conference or special gathering for enlightenment or empowerment. Just like how my own access to the occult world came. It was an invitation by one senior bishop who I admire so much in the ministry. He had organized the program and I decided to take part in his 7 days program. I think on the 3rd day or so, I couldn't go. And so, the next day that I went there, after the program, he asked one of his boys to come and call me. He had a little chat with me about why I didn't come the previous day. I was shocked to know that he was paying attention to me, to the extent that when I didn't go noticed it. He gave me his contact and asked me to call him, and he made me aware that he was taking me as his spiritual son. This was something I didn't take lightly at all. I was so humbled by the fact that it was he who saw me and asked me to be his spiritual son. This conference or special gathering for enlightenment or empowerment are typically shrouded in secrecy, hidden under the guise of religious revival meetings, attracting those who are hungry for spiritual experiences. Once inside, the atmosphere is charged with an intoxicating mix of music, chanting, and mesmerizing rituals that draw participants deeper into the fold. As a pastor, my now spiritual father promised me the ability to perform miracles, healings, prophecies, and signs that would elevate my ministry to unprecedented heights. He talked or revealed to me so many hidden things that I didn't know was the things that were going on. He spoke of ancient powers, claiming that true spiritual authority could only be accessed through initiation into the occult kingdom. The allure was irresistible. After all, who wouldn't want to be a vessel of divine miracles. He guided me till the day that he had told me that he would take me to this spiritual meeting so that I can experience what he termed as invoking the energies that be upon me, for me to take after him. When we got there were other people already seated in this building. The building actually looked at first like some millionaire's house. But when we entered inside was when I saw that there is a lot more spiritual stuff to this house than what you will see when standing outside. We got inside and he asked me to sit on one of the chairs that was available. He on the other hand went upstairs. After about a while, he returned with others as they were all wearing this black robe. I was asked to get up and enter into this dark room that was there. We were going in batches. But each person goes into a separate room. My brother, I will say that the initiation itself is a harrowing experience. It begins with a series of tests designed to assess one's commitment and willingness to surrender to dark forces. I was subjected to rituals that involved fasting and isolation, during which I was encouraged to meditate on my desires for power and influence. This period of vulnerability is crucial. This is because it breaks down the individual's defenses, making them more susceptible to manipulation. This dark oath room was underground. And in this room, the atmosphere is heavy with shadows, and the air feels charged with an eerie energy. The walls are adorned with symbols and sigils that represent dark entities or forces. One thing about the room that I went is that the room is dimly lit, illuminated by flickering candles, and these candle lights cast dancing shadows across the walls. This creates an unsettling ambience, heightening the sense of mystery and foreboding. Once I was in the room, I felt this sense of heaviness in the room. You could actually feel that you are in a different place altogether. At the center of the room was this altar made of wood, covered with a dark cloth. This altar, my brother, held various ritualistic items such as a chalice, a dagger, incense, and objects that symbolize what is being bound or promised. I forgot to say that, before I was made to enter into the room, I was made remove the clothes that I went with, and I was dressed in dark robes that reflect the solemnity of the occasion. Once I was in the room, and they started the rituals, a cleansing ceremony was performed on me. One thing is that, whatever they do, they tell you what that stands for. I was told that, the cleansing will rid the space of negative energies. This cleansing involved the burning of sage and using salt to create a protective circle around the altar. After this came the main rituals to be done. My senior bishop was also present in the room as well as some other 2 senior ministers. The next process was for the leader to invoke the dark entity. The leader of the ritual began by invoking the dark entity. He started chanting incantations, as the other senior ministers there were also reciting passages from ancient texts. I was ordered to take the book that was on the altar and asked to read after what they were saying. This started to create a chorus that resonates throughout the room. You see, during this time of reciting an incantation, the room became deeply with this heavy atmosphere. Then there were these weird voices that started creeping into the room. The man ordered them to stop because he said the Lord was ready to listen to what they brought. At this point, I was made to make my offering to the dark entity as a sign of respect and to gain its favor. You see, before I entered the room, everything was prepared and I was just to offer the offering to the entity on the altar. A shadow had formed something like a creature on the altar. I was made to place a blood that was in a calabash and some herbs in front of the creature. This was a sign for my utmost surrender to its power as I was told. After about some few minutes of placing the blood before the creature, I was asked to take it back and drink from it, as a sign of sharing a feast with the entity. After this, I was asked to come out of the room and be part of the group that I was going to be initiated with. So, we came together in another room, where we took our oath. This was done by placing our hands on the altar that was in the middle of this room and reciting a specific oath that outlined our commitment and what we were seeking in return from the dark entity. This singular act took us more than an hour, if I can recall correctly. After each of us had spoken our oath, a binding ritual took place. A cord was tied around waist to join the other. And then a dagger was used to draw symbols on our skin. After this, the leader then sealed the promises that we made by saying a final incantation that did call upon the dark entity to witness and enforce the oaths. after which the leader dismissed the dark entity with gratitude, thanking it for its presence and power. This singular act that he did is an important part to ensure that the energy does not linger in the space longer than necessary. That is how I gained my powers to perform the miracles that I was performing at the church and programs that I attended. But then, I want to say this very important thing. Once initiated, every pastor is granted access to secret knowledge and rituals that enhance their spiritual gifts. However, this comes at a steep price. The dark powers demand loyalty and obedience, often requiring further sacrifices. The weight of these demands can lead to moral decay, as many find themselves compromising their values and exploiting their congregations for personal gain. The consequences of such initiations extend beyond the individual pastor. The most dangerous aspect of pastors that gets involved in secret cults is that their congregations become unwitting participants in this web of deceit. Members are often manipulated into believing they are experiencing genuine miracles, while in reality, they are being led astray by charismatic leaders who have succumbed to dark influences. The emotional and spiritual toll on these individuals is immense. Many leave feeling disillusioned, betrayed, and spiritually drained. As I navigated this treacherous path, I witnessed firsthand the devastation it brought on families. I saw marriages crumbled under the weight of betrayal as pastors become consumed by their newfound powers. Trust was eroded as congregants were coerced into giving more money, time, and devotion under the guise of seeking blessings. Ultimately, I reached a breaking point. The weight of my actions became unbearable as I grappled with the reality of what I had become. A conduit for darkness masquerading as light. I chose to walk away from it all, seeking redemption and healing. One thing I can say is that exiting the occult was not easy. It required confronting my fears and severing ties with those who had once been my allies in darkness. Now, as I share my story, my hope is to shed light on these hidden practices that intertwine faith with manipulation. It is a call to vigilance for those who seek spiritual guidance. Not all who wear the mantle of leadership are true shepherds. The allure of miracles can blind even the most devoted among us. We must discern between genuine faith and the seductive whispers of power that lead us astray. In exposing these truths, I aim to protect others from falling victim to the same fate that ensnared me.
Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Let me use his own words to advise us all. He said, as he shares his story, he is hoping to shed light on these hidden practices that intertwine faith with manipulation. It is a call to vigilance for those who seek spiritual guidance. He said what is really captivating, this is when he said that, not all who wear the mantle of leadership are true shepherds. The allure of miracles can blind even the most devoted among us. We must discern between genuine faith and the seductive whispers of power that lead us astray. In exposing these truths, I aim to protect others from falling victim to the same fate that ensnared me, he said. And this is the same reason why we do bring to you these stories. So that we all can learn from their vulnerabilities. I have been saying that, when you are too desperate to make it in life, you will miss the mark, which will make you take certain decisions that will later come back to hurt you. Please let us wake up and know that, the devil is right beside us, and will do anything possible to get the very selected people. Now, a very devoted pastor has fallen. So let us be vigilant and not think that we cannot fall victims. This is why we decided to go all out and do this with you, our lovely viewers and subscribers. Let us understand that, the devil can use anything and anyone to get to us. It doesn't matter if he or she is a pastor, doctor, teacher or any other person. He can even use your own family members to make you miss your mark. Please let us hear your thoughts in the comment section. Yes, just as we are here to share with ourselves what is going on out there, we do bring these conversations with you, our family members, to help our innocent brothers and sisters to realize what is happening out there, that they do not have any idea about. So that they can make their own decisions going forward in their day-to-day activities. I just hope that we honestly take the important lessons from these stories to better our lives and decisions. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.